Alright, Shalom. First of all, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on a fight that led to a deadly shooting in West Philadelphia. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says a dispute between two men is believed to have led to a deadly shooting early Friday in West Philadelphia. The gunfire broke out around 2 a.m. on the 5400 block of Wyalusing Avenue. Police say a 40-year-old man was shot several times and died at the scene. The suspect ran from the area and was last seen wearing a dark blue hoodie, black pants, and black and white sneakers. Yeah, and this is, just typical, especially here in America. People get into arguments, and it usually escalates to the point of somebody getting shot. This is no surprise. But when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, this is one of the scriptures that should come to mind. Ecclesiasticus 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And whoever shot that man several times and killed him was a spirit of vengeance that the Lord used to execute that judgment. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And the modern day sword is the gun. That's the modern day weapon of choice. And plenty of people use that weapon, that sword, to destroy each other, to kill each other. And that's basically what happened in this situation. And the Lord created that person who killed the other person. See, this is why the men of the Lord say that free will is not a thing. The Lord controls the goings of man. So people out here thinking that they do whatever they want to do, that's not how that works. The Lord puts the Spirit on you to do whatever it is that you do, to think however you think, and to say whatever you say. You're basically a puppet that the Lord controls. There is no such thing as free will. So even though what this person did, will be seen as a crime, he didn't do it of his own quote unquote free will. The Lord put the Spirit on him to shoot that other man several times. The Lord put the Spirit on him to use the sword, the modern day sword, which is the gun, to punish the other man to destruction by shooting him. The Lord gets the credit for it. Like it says in Psalms 9:16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands, Higgaion Selah. So these shootings are judgments of the Lord. Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that there's a lot of division, there's a lot of friction, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of killing going on. And it's just going to get worse. Like the Lord is really about to showcase the cold-heartedness of humanity. He's about to put a very cold and heartless spirit on a lot of people. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Yeah, so the Lord is the one who killed that man. He just used his spirit of vengeance to execute that judgment. But the credit for it goes to the Lord. First Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yeah, so like I said, these are the Lord's judgments. The Lord is the one killing these people because the Lord decides how this is going to play out. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, decides how these judgments are going to play out. See, the Lord could have easily had it whereas those guys just argued and then went their separate ways. Or, maybe they argued and then, punches were thrown. But then that was the end of it. But no, the Lord decided he wanted to take it further than that. And now somebody is dead. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And nobody has perished being innocent. So that man who got shot several times and died, he was not innocent in the eyes of the Lord. Because if he was, the Lord would not have put him in that situation. And even if the Lord did put him in that situation, before it got out of hand, the Lord would have delivered him out of that situation. But the Lord did not deliver him. Because, as harsh as it sounds, his judgment was to die. That man's judgment was to die. That's why things escalated to the extent that they did. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's what happened. That man was wicked in the eyes of the Lord, and he reaped what he had sowed. And the judgment of the Lord was brought upon it. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And clearly for that man, it was his time to die. That's why he was shot several times. Basically, that was the Lord ensuring that he died. I mean, granted, somebody gets shot once and they could die. It all ultimately depends on how the Lord wants that to play out. But someone getting shot several times, the Lord really had it out for him. It was a righteous judgment, as is all of the Lord's judgments. Like it says in Zephaniah 3:5, the just Lord Yahweh is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgments to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Every judgment of the Lord is a righteous one. The Lord does not do wickedness. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, doesn't do wickedness. No matter what it is that the Lord does, no matter what type of judgment he has executed upon someone, it was a righteous judgment. That person or those people had it coming because they angered the Lord, they provoked him unto wrath, and then the Lord punished them accordingly. And that's the same thing with this judgment. In whatever way that man provoked the Lord unto wrath, and the Lord having someone shoot him several times and kill him was how the Lord dealt with that. Plain and simple. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting this spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.